This is Laurie Millard for Professor David Rogers of EDCI 534 for Concordia, reporting on the importance of great pieces of literature. We're comparing great literature in every school and college, and we must include these three works. The Hebrew Tanakh, which contains the biblical narrative of Job, the modern drama J.B. by Archibald MacLeish, and the classic work Moby Dick with Captain Ahab. Rich poetic literature fills our ears like a symphony, and as we simultaneously smell putrid sores on Job's body. We hear the sobs of his wife, as well as we hear the sobs of Sarah, her replicate character in the novel J.B. We see the ocean swell with that great behemoth, Moby Dick, while men struggle to contain the great whale. His quote, "What am I that I should essay to hook the nose of this Leviathan?" All of these dramatic sensual images portray man against the will of God. These great tales open and examine the inner thoughts, the haunted hurt of men who search for God through piles of suffering on the dunghill that Job himself sat on. The playwright, Archibald MacLeish, sets his drama as an anguished family is dashed into death child by child. Then the one last remaining blessing of Job after his child is taken away, after all of his children are taken away, after all of his modern millions are destroyed, his children are dashed into death. The one remaining blessing is his precious beloved wife, who had sung his praises as her husband and sung God Almighty's praises as their one jointly praised God, who is no longer singing, but she is now cursing that same God. It's Sarah, the wife, and Captain Ahab, the sailor, who share a character type, that of cynical. They have in common every cynical, resentful, angry, crazed, evil character who takes revenge in any horror movie. They have in common the same with the protagonist who declares war on other people or on life itself. Why do some characters decide to die to faithfulness, to live as protesters of faith in God, to live as protagonists, the cynical, the sad, the deranged, the precious Sarahs, and the strong Captain Ahabs of literature? These are the multitudes who would echo Sarah's famous words, "Job, my husband, I would join you if you would curse God and die." By contrast, we have two characters, biblical Job and pure, faithful J.B., who in two separate pieces of literature do not follow the way of millions. Astonishingly, they do not. What do? Curse God and die? No, they bless God in spite of the putrid mess. Another rich portion of literature emerges here therein. Who do we guess is speaking in this passage? Even if no one else should, you should. Never since I learned to tell my shadow from my shirt, not once, not for a watch tick, have I doubted God was on my side, was good to me. Even young and poor, I knew it. People called it luck. It wasn't. I never thought so from the first fine silver dollar to the last, controlling interest in some company that I couldn't get and got. It isn't luck. For students of great literature in every school, and certainly into adulthood, we all know that the Hebrew Scriptures are echoed in the modern drama J.B. And that question of trusting our God or turning against our God is ours to do. It's ours to live through. It is life itself, to doubt God and then resound our doubt with a resolute trust, or yet with a resolute hatred of God himself. Unto eternity when we meet up with him. Ah, but I mean to say we stand and salute him. Ah, but I do mean to say we kneel and pray to him. Ah, but we all mean to plunge our weak bodies and souls to the humble ground, to adore him, and Christmas carols of adoration will sing from our mouths as if involuntarily. Here then is the literature that we ponder as we decide, how shall we then live? Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Does Job fear God for naught? Hast thou not made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Hast thou blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased? But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. The question is one of our power to control our own decision-making and God's power to control our lives. Students of great literature in every school, and certainly into adulthood, should all know that the Hebrew Scriptures are echoed in the modern drama, J.B., and that question of trusting our God or turning against our God is ours to do. It's ours to live through. It is life itself, to doubt God and then to resound our doubt with a resolute trust. As we conclude our comparison of the three great pieces of literature, the modern poetry and drama, J.B., the biblical narrative of Job, and the classic novel, Moby Dick, note that the central theme is, indeed, of decision. Instead of to live or not to live, it is to live cynical or to live cyclical, to cycle the suffering into sincere soul surrender to God. That is our choice. It is the lot of man. From ancient Job, Captain Ahab, on and on, through all generations, to you.